Hi, welcome to Ava'S Flava. I'm Ava, and this is my little helper. I'm going to try to do this with her in here, so we'll see how it goes. Are you guys ready for some mac and cheese, please? I love cheese. Okay, so let me show you what you're going to need. 1 pound of ratatouille pasta. You can use whatever pasta you want, but I like this one because it's got the little grooves in it which the cheese gets stuck in. Okay, and 4 pieces of bacon and 2 extra for me to eat while I'm cooking. Okay, and 2 cups of Gruyere cheese and 2 cups of Fontina cheese. 2 tablespoons chopped Italian parsley. Okay, a 1/4 teaspoon ground mustard, 1/4 teaspoon Old Bay seasoning, 1 teaspoon kosher salt, and 1 teaspoon black pepper. Yeah, 6 tablespoons all-purpose flour, 1 quart, half and half, 1 cup chicken broth, 1 stick of butter plus 1 tablespoon, and 1 cup of panko. Okay, so let's get started. Mac and cheese. Okay, first what you're going to do is get out a cookie sheet like I did here and put your bacon on it. Usually, or I would recommend to put down a piece of parchment paper first, but I didn't have any because it just makes it easier to clean up. And my husband misunderstood what I said. When he left for work, I said bring home the bacon, and he literally bought some bacon, so that's okay. We'll put it in the mac and cheese. Okay. Okay, so I already preheated my oven to 425, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in there for about 15 minutes, but make sure you check on it because you don't want burnt bacon, okay? So we're going to put this in here. And while that's cooking, we're going to boil a large pot of water. Okay, so while our bacon's cooking and the water's coming to a boil, I'm going to show you guys how to make the panko topping, okay? So we're going to take the 1 cup of panko and put it into the 3 tablespoons of butter that I melted in the microwave. So we're just going to dump that in there. And then I'm going to put the Italian parsley in here. Dump it in there, alright, and we're just going to mix that all around until the butter is distributed and it's nice and covered, the panko is nice and covered. And then we're just going to set this to the side, and then we're going to start boiling our noodles, okay? Okay, so the water's boiling, and I'm going to dump this pasta in there. I want to show you guys this pasta. See all the little corners that the cheese is going to hide in? Oh, and it's very important before you dump this pasta in there that you salt the water really good because dry pasta has no salt, so this adds the flavor. So we're going to salt the water quite a bit here, and then we're going to dump this pasta in. And you're going to want to cook it for about 3 minutes less than what the bag says because we want it al dente because it's going to finish cooking in the oven. Okay, so make sure you do that. Alright? Oh, and make sure you preheat your oven to 350. I forgot to say that. So after you pull the bacon out, if you cook it in the oven, then drop it down to 350. Okay, you're going to drop the degrees down. Okay, and here's our bacon. After about 15 minutes, it's nice and crispy, and there was 6 pieces, but Paisley came and snagged one. And I ate a little bit too. Okay, so the bacon is crumbled and the pasta's sitting in the strainer, and now we're going to work on our mornay sauce. Okay? So I know you're probably wondering what that is because it's just macaroni and cheese, but this is the cheese sauce. That's what it's called, mornay sauce, okay? So first we're going to melt our 6 tablespoons of butter, and you don't want to brown this, okay? You just want to melt it. So we're going to melt this. Okay, now that the butter's melted, we're going to add the 6 tablespoons of flour. Okay, just going to add that around, and then we're going to cook this for about 2 minutes, and we're gonna make sure that, you know, just stir the flour in there, mix everything together really good, because you want to try and get rid of any lumps. Okay, so let me explain what the mornay sauce is. What it is basically is you first start with a roux, which is what I got here in the pot, and then when I add the half and half and a cup of chicken broth, then that becomes a bechamel sauce, and then once we add the cheese, then that's the mornay sauce. Okay, so an easy way to remember that is, I have a little saying, is Johnny Roux got together with Zoe Bechamel, and together they made some mornay.
Good.
Okay, so now we're going to add the quart of half and half, and we're going to mix it in kind of just a little bit at a time, because we just want to get rid of all those lumps. And I used a cup of chicken broth because I needed an extra cup and I didn't want it to be too dairy heavy. So I'm going to use some chicken broth. Okay, oh sorry, and make sure you turn up the heat I had it on like medium-low, so turn it up to about medium. And you're going to want to cook this for about 6 minutes because it's going to get pretty thick. Okay, and you're just going to want to keep whisking to get rid of all those lumps, but I think I'm lump free. I don't see any, so just kind of whisk every so often, and then it should take about 6 minutes. Okay, so now that our sauce is thickened, we're going to go ahead and add all the seasonings. So 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, and then a teaspoon of black pepper, and technically you're not supposed to add black pepper to a white sauce because you can see the black little specks. But if bootylicious can be in the dictionary, then we can put pepper in white sauce. Okay, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of dry mustard, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning. Okay, and we're just going to whisk this around, and then we're going to start adding in our cheese, and then just whisk that until it's completely melted. It smells delicious. Alright, this is going to be really cheesy. And I know a lot of you guys might be used to the powdered stuff and think it's easier, but I like to say, oh, I forgot to tell you guys that since I showed you how to make, you know, the sauce and everything, you can pick whatever cheese you put in here. You can do anything. I've used smoked provolone, is really, really good. So you can do that, and you can make any kind of macaroni and cheese. You can do Velveeta, but you know they say leave that for Aunt Rita. Okay, so we're just going to mix this around until the cheese melts. And then we're going to pour the pasta in, and then we're going to pour it in our casserole dish and top it with the panko breadcrumbs. Hey, Zalia! You're still on the bacon! Mama's not going to have any bacon to put in the mac and cheese now. You ate it all. Did you eat all the bacon? Okay, now it's time to put in our pasta. We're just going to mix this all around. And make sure you drain the pasta really good because you don't want any of the liquid from the pasta to mess up our cheese sauce. And some of you guys are probably wondering, since my chubby hubby eats a lot of cheese, is he constipated? And he's not. He's not constipated. I think he just does fine. Sorry, sweetie bird. Sweet. Okay, it's time to put this in our casserole dish. And what I would recommend is to put this on top of a cookie sheet, so if it spills over, but I don't have a cookie sheet. I don't know what happened to them also. Just gonna dump this in here. And I know it might look a little runny, but you want that because you don't want your pasta to dry out. So I'm going to get a spatula and get all this cheese sauce because I can't waste any. Alright, let me... Oh, I guess you guys want to see. Okay, this is kind of heavy. Alright. Didn't really do. I need an extra hand. Okay, just kind of plop that in there. I'm starting to sweat. This is too heavy. Okay. And we're just going to smooth this out on top. Let's mix it around one more time. Mix it and see how cheesy and delicious. See how all the cheese is going to get caught in the little grooves in here? Okay, we're just going to flatten this out. Oh, and also I forgot to tell you that I also shredded a cup of cheddar cheese to sprinkle on top also, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle that on the top. It's all about the cheese. Paula Deen does the butter, I do the cheese. Okay, spread that. You can do more or less, it's up to you. And then we're just going to sprinkle this on top, and then we're going to bake it in the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes, or until the top is nice and golden brown. Okay, so we're going to put this in there, and then I'll see you guys in 30. Bye. Okay, it's time. Mac and cheese. Okay, so it's been in there about 25-30 minutes. So we're going to pull it out and see what she looks like. Oh, and it's beautiful. It's nice and crispy, and the sides are bubbly, and that's what you want. And as good as that may look, I would wait about 15 minutes, because if you try to dive into that right away, you're going to burn your mouth. Okay, and remember, if you remember, there was supposed to be some bacon, but that's all that's left of it. The dog and Paisley. While the camera was off and we were doing some prepping, that's what happened. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Next time I'm going to make some French onion soup, and I know what you guys are thinking. The hubby hates onions, and this is why we get in arguments, because he supposedly hates onions, but he loves French onion soup. Okay? Oh, let me cut into this so you guys can hear that macaroni and cheese noise. You know that noise that it makes when you cut into it? Let me get a spoon so you guys can see what it looks like on the inside. Okay, you ready for this cheesiness? Oh, do you hear that? Oh, I can't hear. Whoa! Mount cheesiness! Okay, there it is. I'm going to give myself a bigger serving than that. Alright. Here it is. Mac and cheese. Doesn't it look beautiful? Okay, you guys should make it. It's delicious. See you next time. Bye. Thank you.